How are you? Just been kind of like a kind of some time since being connected here today. As you can see, this title, and maybe you're live, maybe you're on a replay, and as you're connecting, hey, how are you? How are you, Marcelo? Un saludo. Vamos a estar en español en un momento más. We're gonna be doing another video in Spanish in just a few minutes. Let me know where is that you're watching from. Type number one in the chat, either on Instagram or in any other platform, to let me know where is that you're watching. Is such a great thing to see you here. Today, I want to share with you, the business model that actually changed my life, and to tell you, a little bit more about my business background and what is good about this business model and why you should also consider it, and maybe, I don't know, evaluate it, or something. Maybe you already have your own business. Maybe you have a job, you're working for somebody, and that's really good. But it never hurts, right, to really consider other things that might bring us something extra, or might even be something that you take a look to later on in life, maybe have a career change. So again, my name is Danny Nedelko, and as you're watching this, I am here live from Nashville, Tennessee. If you're live connected here on Facebook or on any other platform that we are broadcasting to, please type it here in the chats, in the comments. Number one, if you're watching live. Number two, if you're watching on a replay, let me know from which city and country you're connecting from. And tonight, I want to share something that is very personal, and actually the business model that completely changed my life. And before we jump into the topic, no, it's not. This is not. Don't come into conclusions. It's not a get rich quick story. That's not what it is at all. And it is just literally how I found something that worked for me. I'm not saying that what I'm going to share is going to work for you, or that it might be for everybody, because I'm going to be very honest. Not everybody can be a doctor, not everybody can be an attorney or a dentist. And we all have different professions, and we have different things that we do in life. So, um, I want to just share something, a story of growth, consistency, discipline, and learning how to build something real while doing life. So maybe right now you're working hard and you're trying to just make ends meet, or maybe you just feel stuck in your career or in your business, or maybe you are in network marketing, and this might inspire you to keep believing, to keep on going, and to keep on just doing the things that might seem boring and you might not enjoy. Like, I'm gonna tell you one thing. This was me not a long time ago. I didn't come from a wealthy family. I didn't have connections. I just had a dream and a burning desire and the willingness to learn. And to be very honest, when I was starting, in network marketing, because I have found that this is the model that has changed my life. I literally just wanted to just make some extra cash. So I discovered something, a business model that helped me create not only income but impact, and have a purpose to help other people all at the same time. So thank you so much for connecting, and if you see that this brings value to you, please give us some thumbs up on YouTube, or some heart emojis on Facebook, or some hearts on Twitter, and also on Rumble, or wherever you're connecting from. So a few years ago, I was trying to juggle everything from work to family to bills to dreams to, everything in between. And I kind of like just lost myself in all that mess. And I remember that there was a point where, all I did was work, but there was like no way out. There was like, there was always something happening, always something is breaking, or the car, or, there is not, like, there's something happening. And I am going to tell you one thing. When I got to the point where I said, enough is enough. I was tired of actually, being the person that was looking at everybody and saying, you know what, I wish I was that lucky. I wish I had this going on for me. And I started just, I just drew the line in the sand and I said, I'm just gonna change things. I had no idea how to do it. I remember that I was there asking, whoever you believe on, I was asking God, for a way out. And, actually somebody introduced me to a business model, which I'm telling you about, that was very different. I had no idea, they just told me, Danny, this is, I want to show you this. Once I learned about it, I really, really enjoyed it. I really liked it. And I just saw it as another business model that I could jump on and say, you know what, why not? Why not give it a try? I'm here breaking, my head, trying to see how to get ahead. I might as well just give it a try. So it was not easy, and it was not something that was innate. I was not, really, fluent at just doing all the things that are necessary to be done for you to be successful. I um i did study music, and I also did study business administration, but it's very different to have a lot of education and then not to have a place where you can actually apply this education. So what I'm going to tell you is that I fail more times than I can count in this business model. So I'm not telling you this is get rich quick, because it is not. As I was telling you at the beginning, maybe you're joining on this live stream, and thank you so much for being here. Let me know where is that you're watching. It's such a great thing to see some of my friends here. So uh, then, I just kept on going. I learned that success is not built overnight, and this I knew since I was in School of Music, since I was doing different things, because I've had all kinds of businesses, from technology businesses, from the restaurant industry. And I know for a fact, even before I came across this business model, I knew that things are not easy, that you need to actually be consistent. So I knew that I could not build something stable overnight. So I decided not to quit when I encountered different obstacles. And thank you for joining. As you're joining, type number one if you're here live, type number two if you're here on a replay. But it's really interesting, because what is that business model, Danny? Just tell me all about it. I just mentioned a couple of words just a few minutes ago, but I call it a partnership business model. I call it, you learn how to be the best that you can do for you as a human being, for you to develop yourself. Because I'm going to tell you one thing, this business model is going to test the deepest things inside of you. Yes. And thank you for being here. Bear with me. This is my personal story. I am very blessed that you're here. Just hold on a minute, because I'm going to tell you the entire things. And for me, it's such an honor to have you here. So anyways, no, you don't have to invent any products with this business model. You don't need to have a huge capital or a store, or you don't need to have this shop where you need to have employees. No, you partner with a company that already has everything in place: products, systems, logistics, customer service. They have everything. They have something that you can actually come in and partner with companies that have this business model. Because right now, we are very blessed and also humble to know that we have founded one of these companies that is helping people around the world. And there are many other companies. I'm not telling you that we are the best of the best of the best, because you're gonna hear these from a lot of people, and this is what makes it disgusting for some people to just hear, oh, we're the best, and we're here changing the world. And yes, everybody's changing the world, but let's face it, there are things that we should not exaggerate when we're talking about different business models, specifically this one. So this story is based about, partnership, and also about consistency. What I'm telling you about, what I found, what I saw. I also saw things I did not like, because I started with a company, the company collapsed because whatever reason, I was doing a really great income. I got disappointed. Then I found myself going back to the same business model with, some of my friends, and I found that I was very successful, but it was through try and error, through disappointments, through people laughing at me, because it's not a business model that everybody follows. So people think that you're cuckoo, because you are out of your garage doing something, and they kind of like, but that's also depends on how you present the things to people. So it is called social entrepreneurship. That's probably what I will really describe it. And for me, it became my vehicle of freedom. At the beginning, I thought that I was, like I used to do when I was younger, and I used to sell bread in the streets, that I was just delivering bread to everywhere, and I was knocking the doors. That was really challenging. It was very tiring. It was not a fun experience, but I learned how to take from that experience. I want to tell you what I learned. Number one, you need to value yourself. You need to actually know who you are, and find a better environment to work in. If you are highly educated, as I was at the moment, I could have gotten a job or a an internship somewhere where I could use my potential, but I did not. I was very young at the moment, and that's all I saw. So if you want to take my 50 cents, always have standards. But from there I learned, people made fun of me so many times that I will go into a business, and I had my breath, and I was walking in the streets of Texas, and I was knocking on the door, and going through businesses, through clinics, through different places, and I was offering, this breath, and people say no, yes, or I don't have money. I had all kinds of rejections. Like, I can tell you that the biggest thing for me is that I learned how to actually not care if people did not want what I had to offer. That's one of the things I learned, before I found this other model I'm telling you about. So I had one specific person that was really ugly. She was very disgusting, and she embarrassed me in front of a lot of people. She thought that she was, I don't know what she thought, honestly. But she told me in front of everybody, there was a big line, and I was going one by one in this office. They let me offer the bread, and she told me, don't aren't you ashamed of yourself of doing this? Shame on you that you're doing this, and some other things. And I was like, I did not understand, like, to be very honest, very honest. I was learning English, and I had no clue why somebody would tell me that shame on me because I'm trying to make money. I think I was 21 at the moment, and I had no clue why she was telling me this. I was like, maybe she was having a bad day. I kind of like, just, yes, it got into my heart, and I went outside. I had a cell or two in that office, and then I went outside, and I was thinking, maybe this woman needs somebody to show her love. I went back inside, and I had one, I had the big loaves and small loaves. So I went inside, and I told her, look, I don't know why you told me this, but I feel that, I want to ask you if you will accept this as a gift, because I have nothing against you, but I don't think that anybody for going to make money however they know how to do it. And this woman was like literally embarrassed. She said, well, I'm very sorry I said that. Yes, I'll accept the gift. And life went on like that. I was like, one of the best experiences. I know that I had to like leave that piece of bread there for free for this person, which was disgusting. But in the long run, now I know how to handle rejections better, how to be graceful with people, which, I'm gonna be very honest. If you really know me, it's hard for me to be graceful with people. I just I really am allergic to stupidity, and I have to really work on that. But anyways, from that story, I learned a lot of things that later on, when I found this business model, which is for me social entrepreneurship, I really, really think of it of a blessing to know how to apply rejections. Because I'm going to tell you one thing: people, and no matter what you do, no matter what business you open, maybe you're opening, and thank you so much here for my friends on Instagram, um, you're gonna face rejections, you're gonna face shame, people are going to laugh at you when you do something new. Because let's face it, if you are doing something that probably 80% of your friends are not doing, they're either going to support you, or they will support you but they will still think you're crazy, or they will laugh at you. And I think that the later was what happened to me, which, I learned how to build a really tough skin, where, people said no. And people, when I was, doing business with this business model, and people say, well, these are all of the things why I consider that this is not the product for me, or this is not the business model for me. And I just saw it as a very clear thing that it was completely outside of me. Now, if and thank you so much for joining. I'm seeing more and more people here. Thank you so much. For those of you on Facebook, please type number, or any other platform. Type number one if you're watching live, number two if you're watching on a replay. It's going to be a really, really good pleasure to say hello to you. Anyways, so I think that this is the difference between this model that I'm telling you about from other models. You can start small. You can actually start like when I was selling bread. I remember that I had a very, very almost to no capital available. You can start from your phone. You can grow it at your own pace, which means that if you don't understand it, if you get discouraged, you can always come back and take on from where you left. You can grow not only at your own pace, but it's a community base. Never do it alone business model. So you're going to have friends, you're going to have people that are going to be there for you. And this is what really, really was getting my attention, because, I had people that actually team up with me until I learn how to make money. So it is actually something that it is a business model where you can practice your personal development, where you can actually when you improve yourself, when you improve how you respond to people, how you treat people, the better you get at this business model, but also the more you earn. It teaches you leadership, communication skills, and resilience, because there's going to be days, when you're going to be sick, there's going to be rain, there's going to be all kinds of things, there's going to be distractions, and things get tough. But let's put it into perspective. And bear with me, I'm almost done. Yes, I know I've been here for almost 20 minutes, but this model has over 180 billion dollars in yearly sales. Yes, you might be thinking, well, Danny, that's like Amazon. Yes, kind of like Amazon or something like that. It has over 120 people working worldwide. So around 85% of the people that are working with this business model are actually part-time. So you don't have to say, you know what, I'm going to leave the practice, I'm going to leave, my patients. If you're a doctor, if you're professional, if you're an attorney, or if you're working for somebody else, you don't have to say, you know what, I'm going to leave what I'm doing right now, and I want to start from scratch. That's not what you do. I did it. Don't do it. It's not the way to do it. So why am I going to tell you about this other part? Whenever I saw that there was something in this business model, I did not go back to a regular job. I gave you an advice, don't do that unless you have something to hold you together. In my case, I had no other option but to actually make it work. And I'm going to tell you one thing, it doesn't work sometimes immediately. You need to wait for a month, for 2 months, and for different timings for you to actually be successful. It's not an easy model, but the truth is that whenever you work on your mindset, that's when you start winning. I'm going to tell you about some things, and I'm going to probably wrap it up here. And thank you so much for those of you who are live and you are connected and you're here and you've stayed this long. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all of my friends. And um, there's a story from a guy named Glenn Stearns, and you can just type it on Google or ChatGPT, undercover billionaire. Go and watch this; it's incredible. I love this story. Glenn Stearns is a billionaire. He went undercover with only $100 and a broken truck, and 90 days to build a business from scratch. That was a challenge he got himself into, and he said it's not about the money; it's about the mindset. And he was thrown into this place in the middle of nowhere in the US where he could not use his name, his money, or nothing. He needed to just use his mindset, his brain, and build something in 90 days, build $1 million business in 90 days. I want to tell you one thing. Once you know the skills to be successful in business, it will be very hard for you not to make it again if you don't quit and if you have this knowledge stored in your heart and in your brain. I'm going to tell you what he did. He built again from zero by focusing on these three things: people, investing in people, really believing in people, but finding the right people to work with him. Purpose. Why was he doing this? Because he wanted to show the average American, at least if you're watching this in Europe, well, this is an American man who was trying to prove that the American dream is still alive. So he had a purpose and he was very persistent. He, during this recording of this was like a documentary, he got cancer. So he was not only doing this, but he was facing an illness actually in real life. And this is exactly what this business model teaches you. When you start from scratch, you realize what really matters. Not fancy logos, not big teams, not the recognition and everybody just telling me how great I am when some of us need those things. But it is about consistency, grit, and relationships. Because in one episode, this guy said, Glenn Stern said, it might be hard, but there's always a path if you surround yourself with the right people. And this goes for any business. Even if you take this talk or this story as some education for yourself, even if you have your own business or you work for somebody else, but there's always a path if you surround yourself with the right people. If you surround yourself with a whole bunch of brokies, mentally and emotionally, or people who are consistently talking about defeat, or who are negative, or who are always getting drunk, well, guess what? You're gonna be the next one. If you hang out with people who are broke, you will be the next one in line. And I'm not telling you to cut off your family, because most of us have those type of people. But I'm telling you that you need to really protect what you let go in this brain. So that's a plus. But let me tell you, the biggest difference between those, and we leave this story, you can go and Google it up, it's really cool, but it showed me those things. But the biggest difference between those people who win and those who quit is not talent, it's consistency. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Sometimes I don't feel like waking up. I don't feel like just getting up, not waking up, but getting up and work, or doing Facebook lives, or connecting with different people. I just don't feel like it. But I'm going to tell you one thing that I learned from different people, from different mentors, from my own experience, from watching this type of stories like Glenn Stern's story. And it's about consistency. It's not about how you feel today, but about your purpose, about the people that depend on you. Because John Maxwell says the following: you will never change your life until you change something you do daily. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. And for those of you who have a message, maybe this might be, your sign to start that Facebook Live, maybe that business, maybe, the podcast, maybe something that you can teach others what you have learned throughout the years. Also, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Yes. You might see some of my Facebook lives from, just weeks ago or some years ago, and I stink. It's not the best. But I'm going to tell you one thing. As I started going live or just talking to people or just doing the things, I get better and better and better, because you will never say the wrong thing to the right person. You will never say the wrong thing to the right person if the person is ready to receive your message as a customer that needs a solution for whatever their problem that they have in life. They will be ready to buy your products. And this is for those of us who have businesses. And also this applies for this same business model. Because when you do the right thing for people, and not just looking for a way to sell them a product or to get them into a business model or into an opportunity, people will feel it. Because you'll have days when no one supports you. You'll have moments when you're gonna question every single thing, because there's gonna be issues in your business. The dog's gonna get sick, the cat's gonna start throwing up, everything's gonna happen in between at the same time. But that's when faith and hope kicks in, because you need to apply the level of personal development to your business and to this business model and any business model for you to actually go through. And I'm gonna leave you with this. Who is this business model for? And maybe you already have a business, maybe you already are happy where you are, but maybe this might be for somebody that that it's needing an extra push so they can actually have things together for their home. It's not for people looking for a get rich overnight, or for those who are expecting results without effort. This is not it. It's not for people with just a high expectation. I'm going to put in 15 hours this week and I'm going to get this much. No, it doesn't work that way. We don't get paid by the hour. It works where we plant the seeds and then things grow, but it takes time sometimes. This is for people with a why, with a powerful why in life, a fire inside to do more, to become more, to help others. It's for parents, it's for students, uh, it's for anybody that believes that they can make a difference in their community and eventually in the world. And if that is you, this is a reminder. You can build something beautiful, starting straight where you are. You don't have to go and travel the world. I started in my bedroom. I had my desk, and I started just contacting people, and then connecting with different people around the world, which eventually led me to have a worldwide business. So how can I get started? This is very simple. You just partner with a company. We're here, obviously, but you don't have to partner with me. But if you can, or if you want, I'll be more than honored and glad to have you. But you partner with a company, a mentor you trust, you learn. If you're teachable, you're going to be very successful. And then you share with others, because we just don't sell things. We don't just grab our product, hey, buy these. No, we tell stories, we give value, we provide solutions for people, and be consistent, because results are slow in anything you do, especially in this business model. You build people and not just profits, because you are building a business, yes, but you also get paid by showing other people personal development and also showing them how to build their customer base. And where focus goes, energy flows. So if your focus is on serving, you can multiply your blessings, you can multiply your abundance, and that could also be a lifestyle, that could also be your income. So I'm going to end with this. Commit yourself to work on the purpose that you have been given. And all of us have a purpose. Maybe you're thinking, well, this is too profound. Well, what are you here for? What are you here for? If you're here to take from people, well, I'm gonna tell you one thing: you're gonna have a very hard life. But if you understand that we all of us have a purpose in life, and that is mostly to be servants to other people, to really serve our community, serve people in the capacity of providing a product that might actually solve a problem in their life or improve their life, or provide a business opportunity that can actually change their life, that, like it changed mine. you know this is the foundation for any business. This is a foundation for my business. I didn't build this thing alone. I have a partner, and not only that partner, but I have many partners, which are people who I love, and that people who I have coached and mentored, people who have coached me and mentored. So if this is something you've been looking for, praying for, or just really, really looking to do something else, maybe this is it. Not because it's easy, but it is possible. This has helped me not only help myself and help my family, but also bless other people, not only in Mexico or the United States, but in many countries. And this business model changed my life. And it's not about money, it's about freedom, it's about purpose, it's about people, it's about community, it's about doing something better, it's about putting a smile on a mom's face when they look at you and they say, you know what, thank you for showing me this. And because of this, I'm able to bring toys to my kids where I could not before, or I'm able to pay my bills, or I'm able to, have better health, or, whatever that might be. If this message spoke to you, please, reach out to me and send me a direct message that says, hey, I'm ready to get started, or just type start, send me a message, comment here, and I will be able to send you more information. No pressure. That's just the truth. If you're not ready, that's completely fine as well. You can share this video. You can actually share it with somebody that might need it. And believe me, I would love to show you what this business model is all about. I kind of like told you about it a little bit without intentionally wanting to do so. But anyways, I'll be happy to help you, to talk to you, and we'll see you very soon. Bye bye.